Okay, we are going to see how many times I have to do this and if I have to do it again. Hopefully not. But I'm doing a new video because the video that I had done before, for some reason, my microphone wasn't turned on. So I am mouthing the words to everything. Oops. One of those really frustrating things when you do a video for an hour and nothing works. It's hardly usable, but my reactions are still there. So what I'm going to do is every once in a while, I'll break up the video and show you my lovely face and will share with you what I was actually thinking at the time, which is probably actually more than what I said. um, so I really hope that you enjoy the video, and please know that there are spoilers in this. It is a reaction to Thomas's new video for the Sanders sides, so obviously it's going to have some spoilers in it. I'm sorry. That can't be fixed, but just so that you know that that is what's going on. The other thing, I am obviously wearing my Virgil cosplay. So if you haven't seen it before, you have now. And it's just because of timing. It wasn't on purpose. I literally was getting into my Virgil cosplay to do a TikTok right when the video dropped. I literally put on the last of my makeup, and then the notification came up that the video was here. And it's like, wow, okay. So I'm reacting to the video as Virgil. It wasn't purposefully done, but it was done, and here I am. So anyway, the camera is not at my most attractive angle ever for the video, but it's fine. So I wish I would stop giggling because I feel silly, but at the same time, well, you know, you should know who I am by now. So anyways, without further ado, here is the beginning of my reactions to the video.
Difference, so long as all of the denizens are liberated? Huh, that...
Being informed or ignorant.
Oh, I've got this one, guys. I'm just kidding. Roman, you shouldn't push people's buttons. Enough joking around, Roman. Go on, Logan.
Jesus Christ, superstar. Thank you, Thomas. Whoop, whoop! Reptilian rapscallion! Reptilian rapscallion! We've got a code yellow! Just see.
Wait a second. So, I just had this pointed out to me by a couple of my friends in one of our private DMs on Twitter, and we talked about the fact that the staff, the cane, whatever you want to call it, I generally call it a staff if it's taller than the person, it was shown earlier when Logan was pulled out of the screen. If you didn't notice it, I can show you a little clip of it, but it's right when Patton presses the skip button. So if Patton is pressing the skip button when that specific conversation is happening, when Logan is sharing that information, and he obviously doesn't want Logan to say this, and that staff shows up and pulls Logan off the screen, then that would be the point where deceit shows up. But it's because, in my opinion, because Patton is lying to Thomas by omission. So it's not a literal lie like Deceit says later on in the video. He didn't purposefully mean to lie, but he did. And because he did, Deceit showed up because Thomas was lying to himself. Whew.
And shouldn't. How can we trust him? I don't have a simple answer to that question. But here's a start. My name.
Okay, hold your horses here. So, Deceit is going to reveal his name, but he needs to prove to everybody that he's telling the truth. So, by taking off his glove and holding it up like you do in court, which in America, you put one hand on the Bible, you hold the other hand up like this. And it's a statement saying that I swear to tell the truth or be persecuted for not telling the truth. And so anyways, you have to take your glove off to do that. And so Deceit taking his glove off and holding his hand up like that, he's trying to say that he swears this is his name, and whether or not he's Deceit. So you're gonna find out his name. I was so excited.
My name is Janice.
Okay, I'm pausing yet again. I am pausing, and I'm sorry. But Janice, when some people think of that, they think, oh my gosh, that's a girl's name. No. Many names can be neutral, and Janice is one of the names that is neutral. I looked up a spelling that is considered to be feminine, which is Janice, but when I looked into it further at the coaxing of some of my friends, I actually found that that is not the spelling that they were looking for. So if we look up Janice, Janus, name meaning. Janus name meaning. The meaning of this ancient Roman god's name relates to transitions, hence it's a connection to the name of the first month of the new year, a time of fresh beginnings. Janus, January. It's usually depicted as a two-faced god facing in opposite directions since he looks both to the future and the past. It's no surprise then that Janus is one of the premier January baby names. All right, so there you go. Two-faced, looks to the future and the past, a time of fresh beginnings and transitions. What? So does that mean if Deceit is a representation of transitions, that any time that he shows up in a video, there's going to be a transition in Thomas's life? So for instance, in this video later on, there's some pretty big transitions that happen. In the court case one, there was a big transition that happened with how Thomas thought of himself. So I wonder. I'm interested to find out.
Janice? What are you, a middle school librarian? It's a stupid name.
Okay. This actually hurts my heart because I really love Roman, but you can see on Deceit's face that that was extremely hurtful. And yes, I know that some fanders' opinions are that Deceit is solely bad, that he's just true evil. And the thing is that I never thought that he was, because if you consider the little white lies that you tell to keep a secret or something like that in planning somebody's birthday party or something like that, Deceit's in control of those too. So not saying that white lies are a good thing, but I'm saying that that the entity in control of your ability to lie and what you would lie about cares about you and how you feel and what would hurt you or not hurt you, or so anyways, that's always sort of been my opinion, that even though Deceit stands for lies, it doesn't mean that he's a bad person and has the worst in mind for Thomas. And it really disappointed me that it pointed out in this that Roman has creativity that can switch over to creativity like in a joking, bullying sort of way. I know that's probably a stretch, but um I'm not saying that he is or that he intends to be, but you use that creativity to tease people, even if it's in a good-natured manner. And but in this case, I don't think it was in a good-natured manner, because Roman doesn't like Deceit. So seeing negativity from him was disappointing and it made me sad. So anyways, moving right along.
For your sake, you need to start practicing a little more selfishness. In moderation, as all things should be. Well, almost all things. What do you mean by almost all things? You're right. We wouldn't want to plant too many trees. Just think of all the CO2 that might be absorbed. Huh? You got me there. Well, when is it enough? Trees? No, selfishness! How long must we act selfishly until Thomas is ready to start putting more good into the world? A good question for another time. But I'm sure you'd have us believe that that time will never come. And even if it does, what's to stop you from telling us that we've done enough good for others, when maybe we could do more? Oh, Thomas dropped a dime in the St. Jude charity box. What a good boy you are, Thomas. Nay, I say! We are ethically compromised if we give the Bananaconda a seat at the table. I don't know that we are.
Okay, so I have a few theories. Okay, first, it is talking about selfishness a lot in this video. A lot. And so I just can't help but wonder if pairing that with the eerie music here that sort of hints at something happening in the future related to this, at least in my opinion, I wonder if that doesn't have something to do with the other side, with the last Sanders side. Let me know what you think about these different theories. Comment below. I really, really do want to know what you think. Then the other thing that I am wondering about is on there it talks about selfishness, and specifically when deceit is talking about selfishness, then Roman brings up um, how much selfishness do we as the sides have to have um, before we do something positive, before we do something good. And so if Deceit is talking about his own selfishness and him wanting to be more prominent as a part in Thomas's decision making, then maybe it's talking about when they're talking about him coming to the table and being a part of the group, that they're talking about him being one of the main sides and being there more often with Logan and Patton and Roman and Virgil. Um, I don't know. It's rather exciting to me to see what happens next. I know it's going to be a long time before we find out, but still, ah.
I thought I was your hero. You are. Wow. I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not. Or you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be good. You can't. Roman, everything's gonna be okay, kiddo. We love you. Right.
Okay, so that was the time that I was glad that I had a hood on, because I was literally almost crying. So Roman looks to Deceit. Even though he doesn't like him, he still trusts his opinion or his sense of whether something's a lie or if it is the truth. And Deceit nods. So there's this little nod and sadness that Deceit has on his face. And with Roman looking over to him in what, in my opinion, seems to be confirmation, what that scene reads like to me is Thomas saying, "Oh, you are my hero," because he doesn't want Roman to feel bad. And then Roman looks to Deceit for confirmation, and Deceit gives him that little nod, and as if to confirm that Roman is right and Thomas just lied to him. And so Roman's reaction is, wow, you would really lie to me. You would honestly tell me that I am, and yet I'm not. And then that emotion hitting him of, oh my gosh, I'm not your hero anymore, or if I ever was. And Patton's like, well, we love you. I'm gonna make myself cry. So that's what's going through my head and why Roman is so upset.
Guess I was wrong about everything. You and I both know that's not true.
Mental health should be regarded with the same life or death attitude as physical health. You've been taught to feel guilty for taking care of yourself. But you were also taught that Christopher Columbus was a pretty cool guy.
And that is it. See you next time. Bye.